Hey y'all, so I'm getting ready to do today's workout. What we have is for intensity and technique, 50 box jumps, 50 push-ups, 50 laying knee raises, 50 wall balls, and 50 burpees. So this is just one round straight through, and I think it's going to be a nasty one. What happens to a lot of us is I call it CrossFit rep blindness. And what we forget is really how big these numbers are. And we tend to just look at line items. We see one round of box jumps, push-ups, laying, blah, 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 blah. And we kind of overlook these big numbers. So the box jump should be low. So something that you can 50 unbroken is within your wheelhouse. You don't have to go on 50 unbroken in this workout. But it should be at a height where 50 unbroken gun to your head might be in your wheelhouse. If you don't have a 24 or 20 inch or a box, if you're going to scale it, which most people should be scaling, if you don't have a box that you consider to be low, then something you can do is just find a step or something really low, a couple bumper plates, something, and just change that number to 75 and just kind of bound on and off so we get that high pace of this one. Or if you don't have anything you can jump on and off of, we're just going to do 35 where you jump and then lunge with one leg. That's one. Jump, lunge with the other leg. That's two. We're just going to do 35 of those. Jump plus a lunge, and that's going to kind of mimic jumping up on a box, standing up, and then having to step back down if we were going to not do a bounding box jump. Whoops. So something to consider is whenever I'm deciding if I'm going to bound or if I'm going to step down, it usually has to do with how much running or bounding I've done, double unders, those types of things in the days leading up to it, and what do I have coming up. And then I take it a step further and I just kind of feel out my feet when I'm warming up. If it feels good, I'll bound. If it doesn't, I'm going to step down. But that's going to drastically change the amount of time this is going to take. If I'm able to bound this, usually bounding about 30 is about a minute. If I'm bounding, my guess is like 15 or so will be a minute if I'm stepping down, which will change the first part of this workout time-wise dramatically. So we'll just I'm going to warm up and I'll see what happens there. The push-ups, this is kind of something as you're kind of looking ahead. You don't need arms for the next thing. You're going to need arms for the wall balls. You're going to need arms for the burpees. So the push-ups, even though 50 is might be in the wheelhouse just to go unbroken on, if you're someone who's in that 30 plus range, that 50 number of push-ups is going to make sense, and we'll probably just break it up into smart sets. If you're someone who's got more like 15 or something like that push-ups, then we'll probably just want to cut this number down in half and do 25 push-ups here, or some relative scale to that. So I think what my plan is probably going to be for the push-ups, again, I'm going to kind of warm up and I'm going to feel it out, but I'm probably going to shoot for a set of 15 and just kind of see how that feels. And if 15 gets hard in any way, I'm probably going to stop shorter, maybe at 10, and just do 5 sets at 10. If 15 feels great, I'm probably going to stop there anyway, do another set of 15. If that feels great, I might just do a huge set on that second one, knowing that the laying knee raises are going to take a while, and my arms are going to get a little bit of a break there. But I'm also going to keep in the back of my mind is I don't want to get anywhere near failure. So if you come out with a set that's too big and you start hitting that range of almost failure reps or hard reps and you still have 20 or so push-ups to go, you could be in a lot of trouble, not just in taking a long time to finish push-ups, but then when we need those arms later, they're not going to have the same pop in it. So I would be a little more conservative on the push-ups than you think you need to be, mainly to make sure you can finish pretty strongly, but also just to set up the later part of this workout. So break them up probably more than you think. Be a little conservative there. Probably breaking that up possibly into 5 sets. So again, if you're someone who's got about 15 or so push-ups, 5 sets of 5, or probably to get to that 25 number, if we're going to scale the number down, probably makes a lot of sense there. The laying knee raises, I'm not going to be too worried about burning anything out. I expect they're going to get really hard, but I'm not going to really go at this like push-ups. I'm not too worried about failure and fatigue because I'm going to be able to brace on these other things regardless. So really what I'm just looking at there is my technique. And if I catch myself doing anything nasty, then I'm probably going to stop. But I'm probably going to try and go 50 unbroken. Honestly, I don't know if it's going to end up being sets of 10 or what that's going to look like. Another wing it strategy. The 50 wall balls, this will be a medicine ball throwing up to a 10-foot or 9-foot target, something that should be light. Again, this should be a thing you could go unbroken on. You probably don't want to go unbroken on, but this is something that you should be able to go unbroken on. If you don't have that medicine ball or a place to throw it, if you have 2 dumbbells or 2 kettlebells, we're just going to do 35 double thrusters, so 1 in each hand, with 35s or 25s, so that'd be the medium dumbbells, or we're going to do half as many reps with the heavy dumbbells or kettlebells, that'd be the 50 or the 35 there. And if you only have one, we're going to do 25 on each arm with the medium, and then if you only have heavy, you're going to do 20 on each arm with the heavy. And then when you get to the burpees, what I expect is that finishing out those 50 is going to get kind of tough, so you're going to want to just kind of slide into the burpees and just start consistently. And once you get about 10 or so under your belt, you'll have a much better feeling of what the 50 is going to feel like. And so I assume that the first like 5 to 10 are actually going to feel worse than the numbers of 10 to 20. So just kind of slide into them, kind of get into the groove. And then around that 15 mark is where you'll start to find what pace do you think you can maintain. And what I like to do is, especially somewhere in the middle, around that 15-20 range, I'm going to try and pick the pace up and see what I can handle. And then it's just kind of depending on what's going to happen there will determine if I'm actually able to do that or not. And then really I'm going to try, if I can't pick the pace up at 15 or 20, if it's just surviving, then at about 30 or 35, I'm going to try and pick the pace up again. And if I can, I'm going to finish strong. And if I can't, it might be hard for a couple reps and then back to just being smooth. So really what I'm looking at is I'm going to go unbroken here no matter what. Push-ups, I'm going to really wing it, but I'm going to be a little conservative. So even though I could come out and go maybe unbroken, I'm not going to do that because of these. So I'll probably stop at 10 or 15 depending on how it feels. The laying knee raises, I'm going to try and go unbroken. Wall balls, I'm going to be doing the double dumbbell thrusters. I'm not great at those, but it's just 35. So I'm probably going to be looking at this. We'd be doing maybe 5 sets of 10. So maybe 5 sets of 7 is probably what I'm going to do. And again, I'm going to wing it. If the first 7 feels absolutely amazing, I'm probably just going to keep going. But likely, no matter what it feels like, I'll put it down at 7. And on that second set, that's where I'll make my determination if I'm going to try and stick to it or beef it up a little bit. And on the burpees, I'm just going to go unbroken. In my head, I'm just going to tell myself, like, your life depends on it. No matter what, I'm not going to stop moving. I'll try and just start smooth, see if I can pick up the pace around 10 or 15 or 20. If I can't, stay smooth. Try and pick up the pace around 35. If I can't, just stay smooth. So that's the plan. Talk to you in a little bit. Let you know how it goes. Bye. Okay, y'all. So just got done with the workout. And it was pretty much what I was expecting. It was hard. And I did exactly what I told y'all not to do. And I kind of forgot about how many reps 50 is, especially when it came to the burpees. So we'll talk about that. But anyway, what I felt is the box jumps, of course, were low. I usually consider low 24-inch, and I had a chair that was like 18 or 20 inches. So for me, I was able to just go unbroken and just keep it smooth. I could have sped up the box jumps just on top of the box, getting back into it faster, but I was kind of just looking ahead at this workout. So if I were to do it again, I would attack the box jumps a lot more, knowing that this is arms and you don't really, the cardio and the legs don't matter, and the box jumps aren't going to suck it out of you too much. Push-ups, I was wrong here. I was thinking I would go 15, maybe more in the first set, and as I was getting to rep 7, I could already feel the lactic acid build up. I think it was just from previous days of workout, but also being out of breath is very different than doing push-ups fresh. So I think that just not getting the oxygen in was part of it. So I stopped at 10. I went 10, 10, 10, and then I did like 7, 6, 7, whatever adds up to 50, something like that. And usually I could probably go unbroken if I absolutely had to, but I didn't feel like I could today. So just be real conservative, even breaking it up as much as I did, more than I thought I should. It kind of came back to bite me, mainly here on the burpees, but we'll talk about that when we get there. The leg knee raises, I just tried to go unbroken, nice and steady. I was really fighting hard to draw my belly button in. I feel like I didn't do a great job of that today. And they got hard about 38, so I really had to battle, but I also was telling myself, abs aren't going to stop me in the next two things, so just burn it out. So no matter how bad it felt between 38 and 50, I just kept going, it burned. The wall balls, I did the 35 medium dumbbell thrusters. I broke them up into 7s. First set of 7, I almost considered doing more, and I'm really glad I didn't. Put it down, felt fine. I was like, maybe I'll do more on the next set. Next set, did 7. I was like, okay, it kind of got hard. And then I put it down, and I thought I was fine, and then a couple seconds later, it like hit me, and I had really spiked my heart rate, had that dizzy feeling. So each set after that, I kept it 7s, but each set after that, I felt fine during the set, felt fine for a couple seconds after the set, and then it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, and it was like a, ooh, dizziness, struggling for that. So I just chipped away with 7, so 5 sets, regardless of really how you're doing it. Try and break it up into 5 sets. Burpees were kind of what I was thinking, and coming off of this into the burpees, probably the hardest part of the workout is your first 5 burpees here, which I know that sounds stupid because you're about to do 50, but the first 5 are awful. Arms are just weak, you're out of breath, coming off of kind of the dizziness here. Arms, you just don't have that pop off of the floor. So what I like to do, especially with burpees, is I just take them 5 at a time, and I try not to think about the 50 number, and I just get to 5, I just get to 10, I just get to 15 and 20 and so on. I just keep chipping away. I tried to do what I was telling y'all to do earlier, and at 15 I picked up the pace a little bit. I don't even know if you'll be able to tell on the video, but I tried to pick up the pace a little bit, and that only lasted for about 6 reps before I figured I don't think I was going very much faster and I was working harder, so I just kind of pulled back a little bit and just tried to stay consistent. At the 30 mark, so at 20 left, I again tried to pick the pace up, and really after the push-ups and the pressing, I just didn't have any arms. So as much as I wanted to try and pick the pace up, I just didn't have the arms to kind of explode off of the ground. So that was really my limiting factor, is I wanted to go harder. My cardio-wise, it was really hard, but I had more in the tank cardio-wise. Just my arms wouldn't allow me to go at the speed that I wanted to go. So really, I think it all goes back to the push-ups. And instead of going 10, 10, 7, 6, 7, I don't know if that adds up, 14, 20, yeah, that adds up. I probably would have broken it up even more. So I was telling y'all to be conservative. I would be really conservative on the push-ups and just not get caught up in the beginning of the workout, because it's really going to be about here. If I had more arms, I probably could have shaved off a ton of time on the burpees. It's a fun one. I would throw a 16-minute cap on you on this workout, and then just know that with that type of cap, I think I did it in like 11 and a half, something like that. In fastest, we'll be able to get it done under 10. But I think with a 16-minute cap, that's going to put most people getting capped off at the burpees, which is completely fine. 16 minutes is a long time to battle with this stuff. All right, take one thing at a time. See y'all soon.